Hi, so you want to learn how to make a GPS route using the Harley Davidson Ride Planner. To make it easy, since it's a little hard to find the Ride Planner on the Harley Davidson site, I'd like you to go to www.notaclue.com. Cleverly, I've already had put this up on my screen. So then, all you have to do is go to Motorcycle Links, and then the official Harley Davidson website. And you can see if you scroll down, Harley Davidson Ride Planner. Left click that. This will take you right to the Ride Planner. Makes it a little easier. Now, to make this show in YouTube, I've got the size down a little bit. However, we'll just have to make the best of it. To start, why don't you type in an address that you'd like to start the ride from. Since most of our rides start at the dealer, I'm going to type in 6385, and look at that, Pensacola Boulevard pops up. That's my starting point. My destination, let's say I just want to go to Daytona Beach. I don't have an address. That's not a problem. Type in Daytona Beach, Daytona Beach, comma, Florida, FL, and then click Create Your Ride. Now I could have selected dealers and it would show all the dealers on my route. I could have clicked right here on hotels. You can't really see it too well. That would have shown all the Best Westerns on my route. But for this tutorial, all I'm going to do is click Create Your Ride. And you get this little Garmin, I'd call it a warning. It says the communicator needs my permission to run. Whether you have a GPS or not, just click Run this time. It won't care. Now over here, you get the little Harley Davidson Ride Planner spiel. Just close that out. Okay, you don't need it. So, at this point, we've got Daytona Beach in, but for some reason it's reversed my points. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take Daytona Beach and move it down. Now, if you look, we've got Pensacola right here, Daytona Beach here, and we have a ride. Can't really see too much detail. I'm using the mouse wheel. However, if you didn't have a mouse wheel, you could zoom in right here. And I'm going to left click and drag the map until I can see the starting point. Zoom in a little more. This is pretty good. If you'll notice, it tells me it's 442.3 miles, and I can do that at the speed limit, about 6 hours 14 minutes with no stops. However, this isn't the route that I want to take. So again, I'm going to zoom in, and hopefully what I would like to do is take Interstate 10 for a little while and then come on down to 20. And here's Highway 20. You can see it here. So what I'll do is notice when I move the cursor, the hand, over the route, the route will change and I get a little pointing finger. Okay, if I left click, I'll get a little circle. Now if I left click again, I can drag that circle down to the route I want. Okay, now that's close. That is taking me, I happen to know that's Highway 85. If I zoom in, there's 85. It's going to take 85 down to 20. Now also notice when I zoom in, I didn't drop the circle exactly where I wanted. So I'm going to left click and drag it down to Highway 20. It's always good to zoom in and make sure the circle, or waypoint if you wish, is exactly where you want it. Now if I zoom out and take a look at my route, I'm down 85, taking the bypass, down 20, but they're going to take me right back to interstate since that's the most efficient way to get to Daytona Beach. So I'm going to have to force this thing again. Left click, take the circle, left click and hold, drag it on down. Here we go. Now I'm probably going to have to zoom in, and yeah, it would take me down a side street at that point if I didn't correct the location of the waypoint. I'm scrolling, checking my route. Up, there we go, back to interstate. Not what I want. Left click again on the circle, drag my route down, scroll in, take it off of the side street. This is a little easier to do if you're using full screen on your web browser. I'm using Chrome if I hadn't mentioned that. That's my browser of preference. We're approaching Tallahassee now, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. To get around, having been through Tallahassee, the streets can be a little bit crowded, a lot of traffic, so I'm going to get back up on interstate, go around Tallahassee, and then around Live Oak. I'm going to drop back down right about here and get on Highway 90 through Lake City, which isn't too bad, over to State Route 100. Now that didn't quite get the way I wanted, so let's leave a waypoint here. Ignore those lines, it's an anomaly. But if I zoom in, you can see that I missed my road a little bit. Not a problem. So we're on 90 and through Lake City. But then it's going to try to get me back up to interstate. That's not what I want. So create my waypoint, drag it down to 100. And I'm going to take it a little further down. Zoom in, that looks fine. And we'll go over through Stark, still on 100. Still 100 to Palatka. Now at this point, I've been on this road before and I particularly like it. I'm going to create a waypoint. I know, there it is. Looks like I created many waypoints. Just going to take and move it up to East Cracker Swamp Road. I like that road. Now since I've got these other waypoints here, I'm going to have to delete the waypoints. So I'm right clicking, remove waypoint, because I had clicked many times trying to get it. I have a few to do. Okay, so now this takes us over 204, drops us onto interstate, and we'll take interstate on down to Daytona Beach. So at this point, we've got a nice little route. I'll zoom it back out. If you're using a 2014 GPS, you're going to be limited to 9 waypoints, including the start and stop. So I'll count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This route will work on any of the Garmin's and the 2014 Limiteds. Okay. So now the next step is to put this on our computer. I always like to have the route on the computer. I very seldom put the route directly on the GPS. We'll go to GPS Sync, left click. We have two options here. If we had connected our GPS to the computer, I could tell it to detect my device and just download it directly to the Garmin. However, because I want it on the computer. I'll go to the manual mode, left click, and although this looks like it's highlighted, we are in the manual mode. We'll go to Save as GPX file. I left clicked. Now we can name it. You might think that by naming it, that's the way you'd see it in the computer. It's not. It will call your route hdroute.gpx. However, when you put it on your GPS, the name that you'll see in your GPS is going to be what we type right here. So I'm going to make this P-Cola to Daytona Beach. And I'll tell it to export stops and waypoints. Left click. Notice in Chrome it downloaded right here, and it did indeed name it HD Route. In this case, number 3, because I've done this tutorial a couple times trying to get it right. This is at least my 3rd version. If I want to see this, I can click the drop down, tell it to show in folder, and it went to my other screen, but yeah, we'll move it here. Maybe I'll have to move it up a little bit. There's the route right there. At this point, if I want, I can rename it to test route or whatever I'd like. Click, and you'll notice it gives the path to where I saved it. I save it in downloads. That's usually your default. So at this point, you now have the route saved on your computer. You can plug your GPS in, or take a USB thumb drive, download the route to the thumb drive, and plug it in your 2014. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think. Bye.